Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Jessica and I'm a part-time seller on Poshmark and Mercari, and I resell mostly clothing and accessories, but recently I've started to kind of dabble into the hard goods on Mercari, and soon I will be adding that to my Poshmark Closet as well. But today's video is not going to be on listing. It's actually going to be on your price of your items in your closet and how changing that price can actually help increase the volume of sales. So I want to start by saying, before I get into like what I did recently, I want to start by saying that everyone has a different technique for their pricing. And the reason why I think this is kind of important to call out in the beginning of this video is that everyone has a different style in their closet, a different type of product, which entails what their cost is going to be. For example, if you have like prom dresses that you sell or like wedding gowns, that's your niche, then your price point is going to be higher than mine, for example. If you sell earrings, necklaces, smaller accessories, rings, your price point will be completely different, most likely, than a prom dress. It could be similar if it was like fine jewelry that's very expensive, or like Tiffany's or something like that, but typically it would be a very different price range. Everyone has a reason for why they're pricing their item at that price. It could be that your cost of goods is so low that you can list an item very low, or maybe your cost of goods is really high and you're paying like up to $10 for one item. Then your cost of that item is not going to be like 15 bucks because you barely make anything off of it, right? So you'd probably increase the cost of that item by a lot so that you can make a return on your investment. I have done this tactic recently because I'm trying to get quicker sales and I'm trying to get inventory out of my Poshmark Closet because I want to be able to bring in newer inventory, and I personally don't want to keep bringing in new inventory if I have items that have been sitting there for way too long. I have items that maybe were a bad buy or just not trendy enough in my closet that have been there for 6 months, 5 months, 4 months, and I want to get rid of them. So this tactic, and the reason why I talked to you guys just about the cost for a minute, is because I want to tell you why I was able to do what I did. So my price range for my cost of goods is rather low. I typically never pay over $4. If I'm paying over $4, it might be for a pair of shoes, because sometimes at our Goodwill it's like $6 for a pair, but that's like the max that I would ever pay. So my cost of goods is typically low. If I go to like the Goodwill outlets, it's $1.59 or 79 per pound, so I'm paying like nothing, basically really cheap. So my cost of goods is really low there. And then the cost of goods at my regular Goodwill is either $4, or if they're like having 40% off, it's less than that. So all in all, my cost of goods is rather cheap. So I was able to do what I'm about to tell you about. Now, if your cost of goods is pretty high, then this might not be for you. So my price range in my closet was rather low because my cost of goods was low. So what I did in order to try and make just quick sales and get my inventory out is decrease the cost per item in my closet by a lot, like the price that the customer would pay. So I had items in my closet that were like $40 or $30. I typically don't go over like 40 bucks unless it's something like those fry boots that I found or like something like that, then I would price it much higher. But typically my price point is like 40 and below. So what I did was I decreased the price of my items in my closet by a lot. If you go to my closet right now, most of the items are like 15, 20 max. I think some of them are as low as like $8. And the reason why, you guys are probably like, oh my gosh, why are you doing this? You're not going to make any money. My cost of goods are rather low on particular items that I can still make times 8 of what I actually paid for. Now, of course, I want to make the most money I possibly can, because that's the reason why we're doing this, is to make money. But my goal is to move my inventory out and make quick sales. So in my mind, if I wanted to wait several more months, then I would just let those items sit in my closet. But I personally am tired of waiting. I have items, seriously, like I said, 6 months, 5 months, 4 months. I want to get those out. So what I did when I got back from my vacation, I was like, you know what? I'm going to chop down all the prices. Yes, I'm using that is going to be my word. I chopped down all the prices and I made them like $15, like I told you earlier. I saw a huge increase on sales because of just dropping the price. And most of you guys are going to be like, well, no, duh. But it made me realize that a lot of people, and this is just an observation that I have, maybe you guys have already made this observation, a lot of people, when they're liking the item, and I would send them offers, I feel like and let me know if you guys agree with this, I feel like they're just waiting for you to keep dropping the price until it gets so low that you literally can't drop it anymore. And $15, it was like my limit for a majority of the items. So I was like, I'm not dropping this any more than $15, because the return on my investment was like $5 to $6 for some of them. Some of them was like 10 and more, but some of the items, my return on investment was like not that much, like $6 to $8. But in my mind, I was thinking it is worth getting that $6 to $8 when I only paid like 50 cents for this item and not have it sitting in my house anymore. Because you see this closet right there? That's the amount of space I have to store my Poshmark Closet items. So I don't have like a storage unit. I probably could put more in my garage, but we don't have a basement in our house, so like that is literally our storage, is that closet right there. So for my Poshmark items. So in my mind, I'm thinking, if I can just sell this and make at least $6 to $8, it's getting out of my house, out of my storage of the closet, and then I can reinvest or just save that money for myself or to grow my Poshmark Closet with a better item that I might find. So the reason why I'm telling you guys this is, don't be afraid to just chop down the price so that you can make a quick sale. I had the mindset for a very long time, don't drop the price. Someone is going to finally buy this one day. But which I do agree, for some items that might be the case, but if you have for example, I had like a Zara tank top, and honestly, I think I paid like 50 cents at the Goodwill outlet for it. This was a couple of weeks ago, like 50 cents at the Goodwill outlet. And in my mind, I'm like, this is not trendy. It's super cheap for what I paid for it, and it's just sitting here, and it's going to be sitting here, I'm sure, for much longer if I don't just chop the price down, because no one's going to pay, like, I think I had it at like 20 something. So I just chopped it down to 10. I'm like, that's the lowest I'll go. If I get an offer or something, I might even accept that, because I have been accepting offers even lower than what I wanted, just so I can get the inventory out. So think of it this way, guys. Don't be stubborn. Like, I am very stubborn and I didn't want to just let my items go for a lower price. But then I thought in my mind, if I just keep letting it sit here, I'm not going to make any money. If I can just make like $8 or $10 off of this, even though it's lower than what I wanted, at least it's gone, and now that money is mine. And some people I actually know a lot of people they want to just let it sit in their closet it is what it is. Eventually I'll make the sale. But at the same time, think to yourself, is this really going to sell in the next 3 months? Do I really want this sitting in my house for 6 to 8 months at a time? If you feel like it's worth it, then absolutely you should. And I think this also has to do with like what kind of item it is. So obviously if this is like a Tory Burch pair of shoes and you want to wait for that right buyer because you know someone, it is worth that $80, or you know someone is going to pay that because you've seen that it's been selling elsewhere for $80, then yes, it is going to be worth waiting for. But I'm talking about items that are like Anthropology, that have been sitting in my closet forever and I just want to get rid of them. Just like J. Crew. I'm talking more of like generic brands, not generic, but not as high end or like super trendy. So like I've had J. Crew jeans that have been sitting in my closet forever. I think it was like 8 months, and finally sold them, and I was willing to accept anything. I think the person paid like $10 or $12. It's like, whatever, I will just get it out. And honestly, like mentally it made me feel a lot better that I was at least selling them and they weren't just sitting there, and like I almost felt like I was wasting my money because they were just sitting there, and just selling that and getting it out. Honestly, it just personally made me feel a lot better, like mentally and in my soul. And then I saw like my monthly sales increase. So I'm like, why am I holding back on just chopping down these prices and letting these items go? But again, it is very different if you have an item like Fry Boots or Tory Burch or Tiffany & Co. Then obviously this is like a very different situation. But if you have like those bread and butter items that you paid 50 cents for at like a garage sale and you're waiting for that buyer, just try my little method and just chop the price in half, 50%, and I guarantee you someone is going to purchase it, because people on Poshmark and Mercari and eBay or wherever you resell, they are trying to find a deal. They are there to bargain with you. They're not there to pay a high price that they can pay at the retail store for a little bit more money and get it brand new. They're here for sales. Now, there's a lot of people on Poshmark that they have the reputation where they can wait and they can get the right buyer. Like Empty Hanger, I've seen her videos that she does wait a while and does get that buyer to come in and pay the price that she originally wanted. I personally don't. I will have an item that could sit there for 8 months if it's like a Diletta, Anthropology, or Urban Outfitters, Kimchi Blue tank top or something like that. That stuff does not move fast for me anymore, and to me it's worth just chopping that down in half just to make that sale and at least double the money or double the my return on investment. At least do that. So all in all, that's all I wanted to tell you guys is definitely just give it a try. Even if it's on like 5 or 10 items, chopping that price down in half or even 75% off can make you those quick sales. I had so many quick sales. This is how quick my sales were. My husband and I just docked because we took a cruise, and we had like a 45-minute wait to get off the cruise, and we were just sitting there. So I went on Poshmark and I dropped so many of my closet items. As I was sitting there, I sold a bundle of 3 items, and then I sold 2 more sales just of 1 item each. Just by sitting there for 45 minutes and chopping down all my prices. That's how quick I made these sales, just by chopping down the prices. So I truly, truly, truly believe that if you can do it, if you have those bread and butter items and you're like, you know what, I'm okay with just making $8, $10, chop down your prices. Don't be stubborn like me, and just make those sales so you can get them out of your closet and just make quick money. But yeah, that's everything I had for you guys. Please let me know if you do try this and it works, because it definitely worked for me, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. So if you're maybe moving out of like into an apartment or just moving in general, and you just need to make quick sales because you need your inventory out, or you want to get new inventory and you just want the old ones out like me, drop those prices, chop them in half up to 75-80%. Just make a little bit of money that you can, if you don't think it's worth waiting that many months of that item just sitting in your storage. So that's everything I have for you guys today. I hope that my little experiment was helpful for you guys, or that if you give it a try, it works for you. And just leave your comments in the comment section below. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy Poshmark and reselling and Mercari and all that great stuff kind of content, because I would love to make more of these videos for you on just my knowledge of reselling. And I will be creating more videos on reselling, probably once a week on reselling, maybe twice, and then incorporating some health and nutrition videos and workout videos, and I want to start vlogging, so stay tuned for all of that. All right, thanks guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.